anniversary, the Runaway and Homeless Youth Act actually first passed in 1974 as Title III of the Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention Act. And in 1974, the program that was created was the Basic Center Program. That's the short-term housing with crisis services for minors. The purpose of that was to be the alternative placement to juvenile detention for status offenders. A status offense is any offense that's illegal because you're under the age of 18. If you're 18 or older, it wouldn't be a status offense. It wouldn't be illegal, such as running away, being truant, being out past curfew. So the goal was to decriminalize those offenses and to instead recognize it as a crisis in a young person's life and to provide community-based therapeutic supportive services for that young person and their family. The Runaway Youth Act is the only part of the JJDPA that's not administered at the Department of Justice. It's administered at the Administration on Children and Families at HHS. But our reauthorization is tied to our history and our roots, which is why this bill goes through the Senate Judiciary Committee, and in the House, it goes through the House Education and Labor Committee. The program and the bill has expanded over the years for those of you who want to check out the timeline, and more programs have been added as it has become more responsive to the needs of young people. But we have not had a comprehensive reauthorization and update in over 15 years. This bill, the Runaway and Homeless Youth Trafficking Prevention Act, which you all have been hearing about, makes all the necessary expansions that are really critical today for young people, as you have heard. These are the programs that are currently funded by the Runaway and Homeless Youth Act. It's funded at about $145 million a year. It is very far from meeting the need, which is why you hear that most communities don't have a Runaway and Homeless Youth Act funded program. They only have HUD funded programs. HUD has a much more narrow adult-centric definition, eligibility, and prioritization criteria than the Runaway and Homeless Youth Act, because the Runaway and Homeless Youth Act was designed to meet the needs of young people where they are, and HUD policy was designed to address chronic adult homelessness. So what the reauthorization would do is it would add a prevention services program to this slide, but it would also increase age limits to 25, increase length of stay, add a non-discrimination clause. It would add provisions around training and identifying survivors of human trafficking. But let's be clear, providing housing and services early for young people experiencing homelessness prevents human trafficking, prevents young people from being trafficked for sex or labor or both. So that's a little bit about the bill. We want everyone in the room to co-sponsor, but I want to open it up to questions for our panelists about the bill, and our young people are here as well.